Hello, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, Council members, Michael Wolf, Director of Public Works. This is for the July 15th, 2025 City Council meeting, and this item is the response to grand jury report, prioritizing best practice street maintenance. Recommendation is City Council authorizes the mayor to sign on behalf of the City Council the City of Oxnard's response to the 2024-2025 Ventura County Grand Jury Report, prioritizing best practice street maintenance. So the city received the report on June 4th, and the response is due in 9 days. And the report claims that the grand jury received complaints about roadway conditions in several cities in Ventura County, and the grand jury elected to investigate only 5 cities out of 10. So they chose to investigate Camarillo, Oxnard, Santa Paula, Simi Valley, and Ventura. So like most grand jury reports, they have a summary of findings and recommendations, and these are the specific ones related to Oxnard. So the grand jury's opinion for finding number 1 is that the city does not maintain its streets in a best practice condition, resulting in cost or deferred maintenance on streets and a hidden cost on residents due to extra vehicle wear. And it's noted in the grand jury report that this is the same finding for Santa Paula, Simi Valley, and Ventura. And the grand jury's finding for Oxnard, their F06, dedicated staff and knowledgeable staff would make effective use of the funds allocated for street maintenance. The grand jury made that same findings for all the cities that they reviewed in the report. The specific recommendation for Oxnard is to set a goal to achieve best practice pavement conditions within 10 years and create a plan to accomplish that by December 2025. So if we dive into the report a little bit, there's several references in the report. One of the key references is reference 14, and it comes from Save California Cities. And you can see there, it's kind of their theme in their report and the highlighted sections. It makes more sense to preserve and maintain roads in good condition than to wait and repair or replace them when they deteriorate or fail. And skipping down to the other highlight section, at best management practice, conditions preventive maintenance treatments are most cost effective, and they give some examples: slurry seal, chip seals, and thin overlays. And if you can remember, these are some of the examples of slurry seals, chip seals. If you remember that, it's going to be important later in the presentation here. So there's lots of technical analysis in the grand jury report, and they come to some general conclusions. And here's one of their conclusions, highlighted in yellow. This is directly from the report. This costly or deferred maintenance could be avoided if street conditions were maintained using best practices. And they go on to say right there that in their opinion, a PCI in the 80s. And our opinion of that this conclusion is very overly simplistic and rather flawed conclusion. We are in agreement that preventative maintenance is more cost effective than corrective maintenance. But we disagree that a PCI greater than 80 is a sole metric as best practice. There's many tools to look at, engage pavement management, and PCI is one of them. It's not a standalone standard. We, as experienced and licensed civil engineers, we use and select and apply maintenance treatments based on several factors. To start off with, street-specific distresses. Certain types of distresses like rutting or raveling or shoving. Could be patches, could be different types of cracking, alligator cracking, block cracking, longitudinal cracking, or traverse cracking. All those tell us as engineers different things that are happening with the pavement. We may take core samples. We may need to understand what's happening below the surface, what's happening with the base or subbase or the subgrade. We want to know what the pavement material is, what's the mix design. So preventative treatment is effective on pavement condition index less than 80. So I did ask you to remember some of those examples that they gave earlier. So the report implies that slurry, chip, and cape seals only are applicable to PCI greater than 80. This is technically inaccurate and really not supported by any engineering-based decision making. So some of you may remember, April 2024, Public Works staff presented a overview of our pavement management program, and we also included in that report our 5-phased maps that was presented to council. And in there, we gave a very comprehensive overview of our strategy, and it was not based on some arbitrary PCI benchmark. We did include in there, in our staff report, our goal, city's goal, which is at least a pavement condition index of 70. And if you look at a traditional PCI category, that's a good condition. And I have given presentations to council. I've spoken in the past to council during budget presentations and other opportunities that our future maintenance goal for capital projects is to get into a ratio of 75% preventative maintenance and 25% corrective. Now, the grand jury report, again, talks about preventative maintenance being less cost than corrective maintenance. That, again, is not a novel idea. I pulled some of the information that we had in our April 2024 staff report, highlighted there. Read the first part of that. PCI score approaching 70 to 60 or less. Asphalt concrete degrades exponentially. The cost to do corrective work is 6 to 10 times more than the cost to do preventative preservation. That sounds familiar, right? Therefore, it's imperative to maximize the use of pavement preservation techniques in every phase. This approach results in the least cost per square foot and stretches the limited amount of funding for maximum benefit. Another part of our 2024 staff report highlighted there is our goal. So a further consideration for prioritization is moving the overall pavement condition forward towards good, generally considered a PCI value of at least 70. And once they are maintaining at least that level over time. City staff has developed a methodology for prioritizing and programming paving projects to meet this constraint. So in summary, we as staff disagree with the grand jury's first finding. And we agree with the grand jury's finding number 6. And with respect to the grand jury's recommendation, as just read, we've already stated the city's goal in our April 2024 staff report. I wanted to add this note that staff was unable to replicate any of the figures or financial figures used in the grand jury report. So we wanted to provide some of this information that since fiscal year 2021 to 2022, including fiscal year 2025 and 2026, which is post Measure E till the current fiscal year, that the budget for capital projects specific to paving has been 96.6 million. And over that same time period, the street maintenance operations budget has been 27.5 million. And the city's pavement condition index since 2018 has improved from 63 to 67. Our last report is a 2024 PCI report. There's lots more details in our staff reports, our technical review of the grand jury reports, and a full response to the grand jury's report. There are no fiscal impacts with the recommended action in this staff report. Thank you.